if you don't have clarity around these 5 things, your digital marketing campaign will fail. Whether you are into real estate, or you are into education, or you are into manufacturing, or you are into shoemaking, skincare products, whatever it is, or you're into retail business or e-commerce, this applies. If you do not have these 5 things, please do not spend that money, because you are going to lose it. One successful digital marketing campaign can change your life forever. It's happening every single day. Many of you remember the Nigerian lady who did a cookathon for a couple of days. I forget how many days she did the cookathon. And after she got into the Guinness Book of Records, she started running online classes. Then the very first one that she ran, she made almost 200 million naira. That's a very, very successful digital marketing campaign. And then there are businesses that started 10 years, 20 years before her that never made that amount of money. And then she said in an interview that she's well on her way to making 2 billion naira this year from just running successful marketing campaign. So one campaign like that can change your life forever. But the thing is, you don't know which one. You don't know which one. So that's why we are having these conversations tonight, in order to increase our chances of having very, very successful digital marketing campaigns. How many of us have heard you've advertised something online, or advertised even traditionally, but you got nothing from it, and then you got discouraged about advertising because it wasn't bringing in the return on investment? So we will deal with it tonight. But I want to mention 5 core things that if you don't have them, you shouldn't launch a digital campaign, because if you don't have these 5 things, if you don't have clarity around these 5 things, your digital marketing campaign will fail. Whether you are into real estate, or you are into education, or you are into manufacturing, or you are into shoemaking, skincare products, whatever it is, or you are into retail business or e-commerce, this applies. If you do not have these 5 things, please do not spend that money, because you are going to lose it. The first thing is that you must have a very, very clear understanding of who your targeting audience is. That's why today we are going to focus on targeting. All right? If you don't have a clear understanding of exactly who you are targeting, who your target audience is, that campaign is going to fail. Fortunately, there are, in most of the platforms today, you have artificial intelligence assisted data apps that help you to refine your targeting. But you see, marketing to everyone is marketing to no one. So you cannot just market to everyone. All right. So if you don't know who your ideal customers are, your message won't relate with them effectively, and then the digital campaign will fail. Second thing, you must not launch a digital campaign unless you have it. Don't launch your digital campaign upon a weak positioning. If your business lacks a clear and strong position in the market, it will struggle to stand out. The reason is, everybody, including you, we are exposed to thousands upon thousands upon thousands of messaging every day. The ones we wanted, the ones we don't want. The messages are shown to you thousands of times every day on your cell phone, on your SMS, on social media, everywhere, even on radio, as you are commuting, on television. There are people, in fact, some people estimate that each of us gets about 10,000 messages every single day. Therefore, if your campaign, if you have a weak position, your product and your business have very weak positions, they will just drown in the ocean of communications that happen every day around us. So do not launch a digital marketing campaign on a weak market positioning. The third thing that must be there is your value proposition. If the value you are giving is very, very weak, then your digital campaign is not going to succeed. But that value has to be very, very solid. And that's why a lot of people talk about offer creation. Creating offers. It's just like when you want to catch a mouse in your house. If you put cheese on the trap, you're likely to catch that mouse. But if you put something that the mouse doesn't care about, it will just walk away from the trap. So it's exactly the same thing. Make sure that your value proposition, what you are actually giving the market, what you are solving, is very, very serious problem that people want to pay money for. Do not launch your digital marketing campaign without a clear objective. Why are you launching that clear objective? Do you want brand awareness? Do you want people to get to know you more? Do you want lead generation? Do you want conversion, like sales? If you don't have those specifically, your marketing will lack direction, and then you cannot measure that. Yes, okay, Dan, I can see what you've put there. Marketing to everyone is marketing to no one. Absolutely correct. And then for those of you who are joining us for the first time, if you haven't already shared this, please share that. That's the least I can ask from you. This is what I'm paid a lot of money to teach in business schools. I'm doing it for you for free. And then when you do share it, it helps the algorithm for a lot of people who will need this information to take it. And then the reason that we are putting this information out there is so that people will know that creating wealth is a strategic process. It's not get rich quick. It's not going to do money rituals. All the things I'm telling you, they are all part of the processes of creating wealth. Therefore, if we don't put this information out there, the youth won't know. They will think that the only way to make money is through gambling, or through doing drugs, or through money rituals, or some online scams. Like someone called me about 2 hours ago to scam me. Okay, he almost got me when my wife ran to tell me that it was a scam. You know, so this is why we put this information out there, so that it will be accessible to people. This is usually the kind of information that's available, that you access only when you go to a master's program in business school. But today, I'm giving it to you for free. So all you can do is please share it. And then when you have shared, type in the comment section, shared. Excellent. I can already see shared. Very, very good. Okay, very good. Okay, Nedra Rogers, thank you for joining us. Ransom John, Ishmael Soiree, thank you. Thank you. And tell us what country you are joining from. Okay, Juliet Edwards, thank you. Thank you for being here. Sunday Fashola. Okay, very good. Now, so you need to have a clear objective before your digital marketing campaign. You need to know exactly what you are campaigning for. Do you want people to just become aware of your company, of your products and services? Or do you want to sell? Because your objective will determine a lot of things, including your messaging. Number 5, please do not launch a digital campaign when your customer experience is broken. All right, so I remember in a case that we launched a campaign, but our website was down because we kept struggling with the website, with the hosting providers, and the website kept going on. So we lost so much money. That campaign was not successful because people would go to the landing page and the landing page was down. So when customer experience is broken, don't launch a campaign, because you're only going to send people to your front doors, and then they get there, they can't do business with you, and then they become very, very frustrated. Okay, is this making sense? Type makes sense, from in the chat there. All right, very good. Thank you. Lawson is shared. Chinedu Naji, thank you for joining us. Hilary Nonso, thank you for being here. Godwin Amos from Ebony State, graphic designer, thank you for being here. Okay, now, so for those of you joining for the first time, my name is Obo Awoke Obo, and then what I have done is to take up this challenge for 1,000 days. So we are running this for 1,000 days. Today is day 38, meaning that we still have more than 960 days to go of teaching, of giving information, providing value that will help people in 3 different areas. First area is financial freedom, for people to become financially stable, because we are living in very challenging times. Wouldn't you agree? We are living in very, very challenging times economically, and lots of people don't know what to do. But that's why I'm going to be showing up every evening to tell you step by step and to guide you what to do. Second thing is to scale your business, part of why we're doing the topic we're doing today. And then the third thing is to bring the family back to frontline conversation. Family used to be very, very strong. Family used to be the strongest bond, the foundation unit of the society. But in recent times, family life has been attacked. Families are being separated, and children are being born in divorced homes, and people no longer want to go home. because the family is a toxic place. So I want to change that. So that's what this 1000 days are about. Okay, so I want to remind us of a couple of points we already made yesterday. And if you weren't with us yesterday, please go back to yesterday's replay, and so that you can get some basics, some basic background to what we are going to be talking about today. You can also find it on YouTube. Now, yesterday I told you that when it comes to digital marketing, because we're discussing digital marketing for small businesses, when it comes to digital marketing, if you have a flawed business model, no amount of marketing can save the business. And of course, I explained to you yesterday what the business model is. The business model represents how you create value for the customer, how you deliver the same value, and how you capture value, how you get paid. That's the totality of your business model. So if that business model is flawed in any way, maybe in operations, maybe in production, maybe in logistics, maybe in your value chain, if it is flawed in some way, it's going to no amount of marketing. Because if you, for instance, struggle to produce quality, high quality, or to produce the same specification of your product, if you now do a digital marketing campaign and then you bring in hundreds of thousands of people to your company and your company can't deliver, marketing can't save it, because your business model is flawed. Your capacity, you don't have the capacity to handle the business that you're generating. Yesterday, I also shared with you the 3 commonest digital marketing error. And I told you that the very first common digital marketing error is people ignoring the first principles of marketing. The first principles of marketing, there are 3 core first principles: segmentation, targeting, and positioning. And then yesterday we looked at segmentation. Today we're going to look at targeting. The second error is people focus so much on the digital part of the digital marketing, and then they totally ignore the marketing part. So digital is not enough. You have to add the marketing to it. So a lot of people are asking the wrong questions. Oh, I want to set up an account on Instagram. I want to set up my account in Facebook. I want to set up an account on LinkedIn. They're just talking about the digital part, but they are not doing the marketing part. Okay? So it's digital marketing, not digital. Then the third one is to assume that digital marketing is just social media. It's much more than just Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all that. Those are the 3 common errors that we talked about yesterday. And then I shared with you yesterday about the 3 marketing levers. The 3 core levers of marketing. There must be customer segment, value proposition, and then the geography. Customer segment talks about who exactly are you targeting? Whose problem are you there to solve? Value proposition is talking about what is the problem, what's the solution you have to that problem, especially a solution that is not being delivered in the way that you are delivering that service. And then geography talks about, where do you find these people? Where do you find them? If you're talking about digital marketing, do you find them more on Instagram or TikTok? Do you find them? You're most likely to find the younger generation, for instance, on TikTok. You're most likely to find professionals, executives, business owners on LinkedIn. So where do you find them? Both physically and online. So, and I took you through the basics of segmenting yesterday. We looked at what exactly segmentation was, and then we talked about segmentation being the process to categorize your customers according to the common need, want, desire, or value. That's what you're actually looking for. How you group the people in such a way that they represent a shared need, a shared want, a shared value. And of course, I told you to focus a lot more on the what we call the psychographics, not just the demographics. Are they men or women? Unfortunately, the digital tools are available to help you to know who are the people actually visiting your website. All right. So when you use tools like Google Analytics, or you use the social media analytics, which you find on LinkedIn, you find it on YouTube, you find it on Instagram, you find it on Facebook, it helps you to know who are the segments, where are they coming from. So that speaks to the segmentation that we're talking about. That's why when you look at that data, and you have to be able to read the data. I don't know how many of you actually go to your If you have a business page on Facebook, how often you go there to look at the data to see where are the people coming from, what have been the trends over time. Okay, like in my page in recent times, I find that quite a number of you are showing up from the Caribbean. So I'm getting so many people from Trinidad and Tobago, from Suriname, which is in the Pacific, though not Caribbean, from Papua New Guinea, from Grenada, from Barbados, and all those places. So that's a trend. And you can see that that is very useful information that you have, because it will help you to serve the people better. And then when you are using illustrations in your posts, you'll be able to use what those people relate to. So if you don't have these things, digital marketing will not be effective. So today, let's look at targeting. Now, this is one question I usually encourage my clients, and the businesses I'm working with to think about. And this question is just enough, when it comes to targeting. This question summarizes everything you need to do as an organization, as a side hustler, whatever it is that you're doing. So the question is, who is the one person or business if you're doing B2B, or who is the one person if you are doing B2C, business to customer? B2B is business to business. That if you could clone that person, would perfectly represent your ideal customer. So think about that ideal customer, that particular person. When you are targeting, just think about one person. It's like what I was trained in writing. I've written a couple of books. And then one of the most valuable things that I had in my training as an author was that you should write to one person. I don't know whether you got the aha moment. Type it in the comment section. Write to one person. Write having that perfect persona in mind. Because you see, people don't typically read your book as millions of people. People typically read the book as individuals. So in targeting, it's the same thing. You mirror the same kind of experience. Who is that one person? Because if you define that one person, you can clone that person. You can clone 1 million of those people. You can clone 10 million of them. Okay, but if you're trying to clone and to serve 10 million people, different individuals, that's going to be different. So this is one question I want you to screenshot, work on it with your team, work on it in your journal. Who is the one person or that one business that if you could clone would perfectly represent your ideal customer? That's what targeting speaks to. So the other thing about targeting is you have to think about the market size. You have to think about the opportunity when you are talking about targeting, because you have to make sure that the opportunity actually exists. So the questions are, how big is your digital market that you're trying to? Where will growth come from? And then I'm going to talk about leads in just a moment. So these are the questions you ask when you are discussing targeting, because you don't target in a vacuum. You don't target in a vacuum. And then if you're not targeting where there's opportunity, then you're going to be wasting your marketing dollars. So there's a concept I want you to understand to pick up tonight, and this will be enough for tonight actually. Just pick up the concept of the total addressable market, because in targeting, you really need to know what is the size of the opportunity, who are you targeting, and then how many are there, what's the size of the opportunity. So this concept called the total addressable market. The total addressable market is the universal size of the market or the opportunity available for your category, the product or your service group. In my own case, it would be, for instance, for coaching, for business coaching. So that's a category. That's a service group, business coaching. But I want to use an example that some of you here would relate to. So, and that is like a shoe producer, say in Banjul, or a shoe producer in Aba, because I think there's one person who makes shoes, in Aba here. So the total addressable market will represent like the global shoe market. So the global shoe market, for instance, is estimated at about $400 billion. Let's say, okay, the global shoe market. Let's just pick that. So that becomes a total addressable market. Now, but the shoe producer in Aba cannot be targeting. You don't want to start by targeting the total addressable market. There's another smaller market, which is a subset of the total addressable market, which is called the serviceable addressable market. So the serviceable addressable market include a subset of all the market in the world that you can, given what is available to you in terms of your channels, in terms of your logistics, your location, your limitations, the qualifications of your staff, the vehicles you have, the capital that you're invested in, that you can reasonably reach. Okay, so the shoemaker who is a sole proprietor in Aba might not be able to reach everyone in the world, the globe. It might not be able to reach people in South Korea, and might not be able to reach and saturate the Chinese market, but he might be able to reach people in different parts of Nigeria. So that would be the serviceable addressable market for the shoemaker in Aba. Then the share of market represents also another subset of the SAM, the serviceable addressable market, actually, so that should not be term, that you can actually reach. All right, so this time for that person in Aba, it might be a regional market. It might just be Aba and surroundings, maybe Aba and Port Harcourt, southeast, south area. And then when you look at the left part of the graphic, you can see that, for instance, the global shoe market could be $400 billion. Okay, that's just a suggestible figure. The global shoe market in Nigeria could be $1 billion. So when you are doing your digital marketing campaign, you are not targeting the TAM or the SAM, the $1 billion in Nigeria, but your share of market is probably where you want to spend much time. So within that place in Aba, he might be able to target like $10 million. And then, of course, as your business scales, this is how your market opportunity grows, because the purpose of scale is to increase your share of market. And then you begin to increase your share of market within the serviceable addressable market, which is the blue area. And then when you have mastered the serviceable addressable market, that's now when you begin to go international. But a lot of people want to start from the share of market from that little area all the way to the global shoe market. Well, modern business can allow you to do that, because there are people who are in Africa and then they are servicing markets in the United States. There are people who are in Africa, they make clothes for people who are in Europe. They make African clothes for people in Europe and people in America. And in fact, we have a young lady who cooks. She makes native soup. She makes the soup in Nigeria, and she delivers to people living in the Middle East and then people in the US. So it is still possible, but you need to know exactly what is the size of the opportunity that you are targeting. And then the other thing you want to do to help you also to understand your market in targeting is to evaluate your market segments. There are 4 factors you can use to evaluate your market segments, because you want to, as much as possible, one of the goals of targeting is profitability. Because if you have poor targeting, you're going to have poor profitability. So the reason that we do digital marketing campaigns and then we don't work well is because we're not targeting correctly. And this is why, and then you can write down this in the chart. I have said it over and over again. Do not do business for poor people. The easiest way to frustrate yourself and to destroy your business, to kill your business, is to do business for poor people. You do business for the profitable market segments. Then you do charity for poor people. Don't mix it up. People are mixing charity, with business. You can't set up your business is not so, except you are like a charity organization, that's a different thing. But if you're in business, if you don't make profit, it will die. So that's why you don't do business for poor people. And then if you're not targeting correctly, it is like doing business for poor people, because your digital campaign, only people who don't have money, who can pay you, who can buy it, who are not profitable to you, will be the people seeing the ads, and they can't do anything about it. So if you don't target well, your ads, for instance, if you do Facebook ads or Instagram ads or YouTube ads, Google ads, whatever, and then you don't target it well, it will be showing it to all these poor people who can't afford you, people who are not relevant. So targeting is critical. Okay, so segment size, segment growth potential. In other words, will this segment grow? Okay, the attractiveness of that segment. And then also based on your own objectives and your own resources, what you have. So these are the things you use to evaluate a market segment. Okay, so this is the exercise I already gave you. So that's the exercise I would like you to take home tonight. Do some notes, come back to the comment section here, and then tell us your findings, and then share your experience. Do these exercises, come back. I see your comments and I do read them because it's a coaching exercise. So who is the one person or business that if you could clone would perfectly represent your ideal customer? So that's where we are going to end it for tonight. So in summary, we are saying there are certain things that you have to have in place before a successful digital marketing campaign. Don't just go out there and start spending money and start wasting budget when you do not have these things clearly defined. What are your campaign objectives? Who exactly are you targeting? Where are they? Okay, have you segmented them? So you have to answer those questions. What is the market opportunity? Where are they? Because if you target wrongly, you will not be profitable. So the degree of your profitability in digital marketing is directly dependent on the quality of your targeting. It's a mouthful, but if you can capture this in the statement in the comment section, that would be wonderful. So I'm saying that the degree of how profitable your campaign is directly proportional to the quality of your targeting. Another way you can put it is the higher the quality of your targeting, the higher the return on your marketing investment, the higher your ROI. So the better your targeting, the higher your profitability. I think that's a very good way to put it. The better your targeting, the higher your profitability. So targeting is why some people put in $1 and then they make $3. For every $1 they put in, they make $3. And some make as much as $5, $6, $7 for every $1 that they put in. It is targeting that will make that difference. But some other people put in $1 and they even lose money. And then sometimes Facebook cuts your loss by not showing your ad, because if they continue to do it, your ad is not performing very well because the targeting is wrong. You will lose a lot of money. Has this been very useful today? All right, say so. And then please share that. And I will see you here exactly the same time tomorrow evening. So every evening at 8 p.m. GMT +1, join us here. Don't even wait to be reminded. Just join us. Tomorrow, as always, we'll be looking at family, something related to family, and you will get all the information. But for now, so you have a very, very good evening, and whatever happens, keep showing up because you have no idea what's coming your way next. And I'll see you tomorrow.